It was a wet day on the roads, and on my commute in, I got to tell you, it looked like people forgot how to drive in the rain. Here's a little refresher from the Rowan County Emergency Services Facebook page. They're just south of us, of course, here in the Triad. When it rains, wipers on. When it rains, lights on. And when it rains, no hazards on. You turn them off. Why is that? Well, Patrick Olsen from Carfax is with us. And of course, we've discussed not using hazards when it's raining, but for a refresher, let's go over why that is.
Absolutely. So, particularly when it rains, you want to keep two things in mind. You want to keep speed and space. So, you want to make sure your speed is lower so you have more time to respond to the cars that are around you, and you want to have space. You want to make sure that there's room for you to react if there's a big puddle or if there's a car that is sliding towards you. But the hazards are a hazard. Um, when you have them on, other drivers don't know where you're going. They can't tell what your intentions are. And so there are occasions when maybe you're on an interstate during a particularly bad thunderstorm and your visibility goes to nothing. Hazards are somewhat helpful then. They are not helpful at all on city streets because they will simply confuse other drivers as to where you're going, and that puts everyone at risk.
Yeah, sometimes you can't see people's brake lights. Sometimes the blinker, of course, doesn't work when you're using the hazard, so that's why. What about cruise control when it rains?
So there are a lot of people now, and there are a lot of cars now, where the cruise control will take you all the way down to zero and start back up if you're literally in stop and go traffic. And I think on clear, dry days, that's great. But for me, my advice would be when you're in, particularly in the rain, I would want to control when I'm stopping because you never know when someone in front of you is going to panic stop. And technology is great, but it's not infallible. So for me, if it's raining at all, I want to be in charge of when my car is going to be slowing down.
Okay, so no cruise control during the rain, at least for that.
Yes.
All right, we're about to be on like summer travel season, that kind of things. What should we be thinking about as car owners now ahead of that season?
So one, make sure that your maintenance is up to date. I recommend getting the Carfax Car Care app, which is totally free, and it lets you know, are you due for an oil change? Are you due for a tire rotation? The last thing you want to do is go on a road with bald tires or with an engine that is going to break down by the side of the road. So one, check on your maintenance. Two, make sure that your car has got stuff in it to keep you safe. So I'm talking like a summer kit of flares. You want towels. I hardly endorse having a box of gallon-sized Ziploc bags in your car. If you are on an 8 or 10-hour drive and one of your kids gets sick, the last thing you want to do is smell that for the rest of your trip. Those gallon Ziploc bags are a savior. Make sure you have a blanket. Yes, I know it's summer, I know it's going to be warm, but it gets cold at night and it will just keep you warmer and safer as you go. Make sure you've got water to drink and some food to eat as well.
All right, we've got a little bit less than a minute left. I want to bring up pollen just because it's been so bad this season. Hopefully the rain washes it off today, but if not, how long can our car go with pollen on it?
I wouldn't let it go more than a week or two, and I would take it even to one of those $3 or $5 car washes where it just blasts water at it. It doesn't need to be, perfectly cleaned, but pollen, if you look at it under a microscope, it has sharp edges, and those sharp edges are going to eat into your paint. And when it gets through your paint and moisture gets in, well, then you have rust, and that leads to nothing good.
All right, Patrick Olsen from Carfax, we appreciate your time and your expertise on so many different topics that deal with our cars. If you want to watch this again, maybe send it to someone who really needs to hear one of these things. It'll be in the Who Wants to Know section of our website. Right now, we're going to take a look at the forecast. And Tim, I need a little more rain to wash off that pollen.